This is Sector Force from Reddit Viper, and I wanted to talk today about Town Hall 8 war base design. Specifically, bases that are designed to prevent a Town Hall 8 attacker from getting the third star. This is my war base. I've used it for 20 or 30 wars probably, and this version of it has never been 3-starred by a Town Hall 8 opponent. This war that I'm showing this clip from, it had 5 attacks, several of them Town Hall 9, and our most recent war, it had 9 attacks, several of them Town Hall 9, and none of those attacks resulted in a 3-star. We're not going to build this base, but I am going to walk you through the complete scratch building process. I built this completely from scratch with fairly deliberate thought about the different types of attacks that a Town Hall 8 base are likely to see, and I would love to share that knowledge with you guys. So I didn't want to do this initially when I came up with a base because I wasn't sure how well my design would work, but it's not really a design, it's more of a design philosophy, so it seems to have worked pretty well. So what does it mean to make an anti-3-star base? Well, you can see here my Town Hall is really easy to get to. If you were trying to get a 2-star on this base, I bet you could do it with barbarians and archers, which makes it hilarious that people sometimes don't even accomplish that. In wars, in serious war clans, the 3rd star is the only star that matters. Every base can be 2-starred at the Town Hall 8 level and on up to 9 as well. So really, to be successful in war, you just want to prevent the 3rd star, which means you can treat that Town Hall as just another high horsepower building. It's exactly the same category as a storage. It's something that you can use to soak up some damage. That's most effective for dragons. You want to put the most deliberate thought about them to prevent dragloon attacks. But yeah, just use it as a storage. It has an additional benefit though. It's not just a storage because you can use it as, let's call it a honeypot or a lure. You can use it to influence the side of the base that people attack from. So you can help make some of the attackers' decisions for them by making one side of the base artificially more attractive than the other. There's something real psychological about what side of the base somebody attacks from. And if the Town Hall is right there, they know they're going to get that 1-star. They know they're not going to miss out on their loot, and so you can lead them to make suboptimal decisions, or maybe they don't even know that it's suboptimal. Maybe you have an advantage because you know which side they're coming in on, so you can set your traps accordingly. So I wanted to talk first about the clan castle. This isn't a great attack to demonstrate the clan castle because it's a dragon attack, you can see. This is going to be a pretty long series, so I will probably go into more detail on the clan castle in not this video but the next one. But as you can see, since we're not caring about the Town Hall, the next most important building is the clan castle. And I am a firm believer in the centralized clan castle. Very difficult to lure. One of the reasons I'm revising my base is I have not had anyone lure it easily, but I still think it's a little bit too easy. I could make it harder. So that's a main feature of the base. That's why it's so wide and spread out. And then the other main features is let's walk through the 3 major attack types. So you've got dragloon, a couple of different variations there. You've got hogs, and you've got go wipe or G wipe or go wee wee. And then you do want to continue to be aware of holo. If you get too spread out, you open yourself up to holo attacks. So that's a 4th one. That 4th one is really holos are only going to come into play if you get really extreme. If you have a base spread out completely across the map. what you want to avoid from that is you want to avoid having a lot of defenses out of range of the air defenses. So this base, or this defense is a little bit of eye candy. It's actually kind of funny. It shows an effective use of the air sweeper. So first of all, a not effective use of lightning. This is a dragon attack, so I'll talk a little bit about that. You can see I made it asymmetrical. I've got this side, these two air defenses are closer to the perimeter than this one. So that plus the town hall is almost enough to guarantee that a cunning dragon attacker is going to attack from this side. And you can see I set up my air sweeper to account for that. I did make a mistake with the air sweeper. It didn't occur to me when I plopped it in there that it counts as a defense, and so it screws up something else I was trying to do with my defense spacing. I was being very deliberate about my defense spacing to mess with loon pathing, since that's a big component of drag loon. So that's another reason I need to revise this base. Let's see. So, hey, shocker of shockers, here come the drags. This is a good demonstration. This is the first time I've ever seen an air sweeper work. I mostly see hog attacks as a high Town Hall 8. But you can see they really got pushed back. You can see how long these drags get hung up on these high hit point buildings. You can see they hang out in range of those air defenses for a really, really long time. Now this is going to reveal the mistake that I made right here. You don't want your loons to path from one air defense to another so that it's much harder for them to crash. So normally if this air sweeper hadn't been there, from here it would have pathed over to the archer tower. What might not have been immediately obvious from the initial kind of jumbled appearance of the space is each of these defenses has something closer to it than an air defense, but the air defenses all have a defense closer to them than any other air defense. So if I hadn't had this air sweeper there, when the balloons got done with this air defense, they would have gone outside onto the ring at this cannon or wherever their exit point was, and then they would have just continued around the defense ring rather than ever going back to an air defense. But it doesn't go the other way. If they started, say, over on this wizard tower, they'd go from the wizard tower to the archer tower, then to the cannon because the cannon's closer, and then continue on. And so they would never path into the air defense unless you're real deliberate about taking out, cutting a gap. So you would have to take out this cannon and then they could path in, but you'd actually have to take out the cannon and the wizard tower. So it makes it very difficult to do anything other than just bunch your loons up with the dragons and hope for the best. So those are design ideas that I definitely encourage. But as you can see in this case, that's totally screwed up because the loons go straight from one AD to the other. It doesn't matter because they're completely chewed up. The fact that he poorly executed his lightning on that air defense doesn't even end up mattering, because even if he had done it correctly, they wouldn't have made it over to that half of the map anyway. So there we go. That's an attack. And now let's get into the layout editor.